You've got to stick with it.
Yes.
YouTube, partnerships, and all of that don't come overnight. You have to stick at it. It's going to be testing. Today has been a testing day you don't know. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever your time zone is currently. So today we are coming to you with a bit of an educational video, if you will. We're basically doing a how to start a YouTube channel, but it's like an overseas edition.
Right.
Because obviously that's our situation. I mean, some of the rules will kind of apply only to if you're starting this a channel with someone.
Yeah.
But there are points that you can take away if you are just starting a solo channel, which if you are, by the way, salute you, because I could never do this by myself. Never. I can't imagine just sat here and doing like some people have solo podcasts. And I'm not talking about like where they interview, like, you know, the Diary of CEO where I always go on about where the guy's interviewing someone.
No, when you're just solo.
When you're
talking.
just, yeah. I
couldn't do that sober.
Yeah. I don't even think I could do that drunk, to be fair.
No, because I'd be silent. I mean, I just literally look and be like, in my head.
Yeah.
So I just think that it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it would be too hard. But anyways, luckily we don't have to do that.
No.
Please never quit, because
this
is over.
Yeah.
One of us leaves, it's over.
The hat is getting put down. The keys are being hung up.
Yeah, so, right, I have written down some notes because I wanted to make sure I included everything. If I take like these weird long pauses, by the way, it's because I have a really sore throat at the minute, and when I tell you when I swallow, it feels like I'm swallowing bricks. So I'm in so much pain, but we're gonna power through.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say, if you're starting a channel with someone overseas, number one is you need to make sure you have a great business partner, friend, whatever you want to call it, because if you don't, in my opinion, it's just not going to work. It'll probably work for a little bit and then it won't.
Yeah.
Because if you're not on the same page, then it's just sadly not going to work.
Yeah, and you have to be, so you have to be on the same page, but not only, because there's some things you won't be on the same page about, but you have to be able to talk it through.
Yeah.
And understand and compromise together. So I think above everything, you have to have that solid connection. You don't have to be friends for 50,000 years. You don't have to be, you just have to know that person well enough to know, okay, if this happens, they won't do this. If, like, I don't know, if they offer us this much for this, they're not going to go behind my back and be like, actually, I'm going to take the deal. Or when we, like, you have to know that you trust that person. And we've had conversations about this before, but above it, we also know that our friendship is priority, and that's something that won't ever be sacrificed for this. Because of our connection, because of our friendship, because of our sisterhood, we get to put something like this out. Without it, we would be doing it.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's something that if you're gonna pick someone, pick well.
Yeah, really fucking well. Because you obviously don't want to, like, because it's not easy to start a channel. Like, yes, this part is kind of easy because you just sat down, you chat and shit, and we do that every day of our lives anyways, but like, it's a lot of work behind the scenes, and to do all of that work and have it go tits up because you've picked a shit partner essentially and you're not on the same page, it's just going to make everything 10 times harder. And so like, just make sure you have a good partner, number one. Number two is to live, eat, breathe consistency. You've got to stick with it.
Yes.
YouTube, partnerships, and all of that don't come overnight. You have to stick at it. It's going to be testing. today has been a testing day. You don't know.
Exactly. Like there's
You
so much
don't
that
know.
happens. Like you'll
Yeah.
watch this and you'll be like, oh, but they just sat down, grabbed their mics. No.
Every day there's a struggle, there's a problem.
Yeah.
It's hard. And obviously for us to be able to get to this point, one of us has to fly to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It takes months upon months of planning. That's another thing. You have to think not only like so for context, Age is here for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're filming our content, we have to think, right, okay, so when are we seeing each other next? So we know how many videos to film so that we don't go a week without videos, because that's important to us. We don't want to miss a week of uploads because, as I said, consistency is key. So that aspect of it is so hard. Mm-hmm. And then putting out content, like one of the annoying things about having to do these bulk filming sessions is we don't get to put out content where, like, if something random happens and we want to talk about something like trashy,
something viral happens.
Yes, exactly, something viral happens and we want to talk about it, it's like by the time we get to see each other next, it's gonna be old news. So we can't really do that.
No.
So that aspect is pretty hard.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's besides the point. But yeah, just make sure you are consistent. You plan everything down to a T. I recommend personally a spreadsheet. Not everyone's gonna like a spreadsheet.
She's a spreadsheet.
I feel like you're sick of my spreadsheets.
I love them. You know what? I've grown to love them because I've seen a spreadsheet in every form, I feel. Yeah. And there's so many more to come. We have a spreadsheet for clothes. We have a spreadsheet for food. We have a spreadsheet for... when I say clothes, I mean like daytime, nighttime clothes. We have a spreadsheet for our house.
Yeah.
We have a spreadsheet, and there's so many more. I know we will have spreadsheets for holidays. We'll have spreadsheets.
Oh, yeah. It's a must.
It's a must.
Yeah, it just makes everything so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couldn't do, like, you couldn't just land and then we would sit down and be like, right, so what should we film? Like, I promise you now, I would quit.
We would flopped ages ago.
Yeah, it's not possible, especially juggling. Like, especially if you are juggling a job. I mean, most of us will be juggling like a full-time job.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, we both have full-time jobs. They're different. We have to work with time zones and all of that shit. So it's very hard. But, you know, as I said, planning is key. Consistency is key. And make a spreadsheet. If you don't want to make a spreadsheet, make a list. Just do whatever you need to do to stay organized and plan ahead. And then you'll be sweet.
Yeah, just touching back on what you said about, like, when we see each other. So, for example, like, when we saw each other in April and I came here, we didn't know when we were going to see each other next.
Yeah.
So that was so terrifying.
That was risky.
And we planned until a certain time frame, and it was like, okay. But we had nothing booked, we had nothing planned. And then it was like, I came here, so it worked out. But so even if we don't necessarily have, well, I don't think if we've ever done it too tough where we don't have anything planned, but if you don't, you at least have to have it extend to a certain time, and then as not the month that it's going to, everything's going to finish, like all the content's going to finish, like months before, you need to think of, okay, so by March we're going to have 5 videos left. What are we gonna do? Who's gonna come where? What are we gonna do? Because one of the things that we never wanted to do, which we could have, would have made things probably easier, is we didn't want to do Zoom. Nothing through Zoom.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, do you remember when we tested it out?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
Oh my god.
But it just wasn't the vibe.
It was terrible. I'll say it was terrible. I
mean, the vibe.
Some people do it. Like, it's okay, but it just wasn't for us. I mean, obviously, if that's for you, and not everyone is going to be able to travel back and forth, it's spenny.
Yeah.
So if that works for you, until you can get on your feet and stuff like that, then do it. Like, at least you're doing it, you're taking steps in the right direction. But just personally for us, it wasn't for us. And we preferred it this way. And we wanted to see each other anyways. Like, we always
We
want to see each
planned
other.
to see each other, so it's like, why not do it? But
Yeah.
obviously, it's something that we think about because it's like, since we've launched, there's not a time where we haven't done this when we see each other. There's days off. We have days off, of course.
I long for them right now.
But and it's like, but it's a lot, and but you have to make sure you think about, okay, when we're going to see each other next, what's going on here, what can we do here, or also like just life events, like what's going to be filmed, can we film, because obviously not everyone's comfortable like wanting to be on camera, so some people may not want to be filmed. Some people are like, yeah, put me on. So we have to think about that. If we're doing things with the family, we may not be able to film, which means we've got to replace that footage with something else because that time is not usable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just something that we have to also keep in mind.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is, not only do you have to think about planning your content and obviously setting up your channel and all of that stuff, but once your content is then filmed, it's then like, shit, it's got to be edited and like uploaded and all of that stuff. So I mean, for me, luckily I kind of already knew how to edit, and I work from home anyway, so I can kind of slot in like my lunch breaks or after work and stuff like that, and it works. I feel like it works well. I've kept on top of it, so I guess it's working well. But of course, like, if you're not someone that works from home and has that luxury, then it's just a case of like, you kind of have to kiss goodbye your social life, because this shit is time consuming and there's a lot to learn, a lot to do. But for me, I'm kind of like, I guess I've just gotten to the age where I'm like, I don't care to just be out every weekend getting drunk, pissing my money up the wall shopping, buying stuff I don't need. I would rather like spend my time, my spare time, investing in my own future, our future.
Yeah.
So you have to be willing to do that, obviously, both of you, not just if you're doing a duo channel, both of you. And I feel like we're very much on the same page on that.
For sure.
So it just works, which
like
is great.
We'll FaceTime to like plan things through.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't work from home. I commute, go to work, and it's Monday through Friday, so it makes it difficult when like we have to talk things through, because then it only gives me the weekend to sit down. But I'm also willing, like Marina will stay up late sometimes if we need to FaceTime after I get home from work, or if there's anything that I need to do, I may put it off because I'm like, okay, we need to FaceTime and talk about this, because at the end of the day, you know, I can go shop around for aimless bits and bobs anytime, but we need to get this planned. And it's also helped, I want to say it's helped me like not procrastinate as much as I used to. I used to procrastinate for the life.
Did you?
Yeah, procrastination was my middle name. So it's helped me kind of be like, no, because if you procrastinate, it doesn't just fall on you, it falls on you. Like, it falls on Marina too, so it has a domino effect. But yeah, that's something that you just have to keep thinking about, because there's a lot of sacrifices that come in this, and depending on what you want, if you just want to put out content and you want a little quick thing, then do it how you want. But I know for both of us, we want so much more, and we have bigger plans and bigger aims, so you have to really have these conversations. We had these conversations long before Drxma Queenz was ever born, long before the name was born. Like, we had these conversations. We even used to film videos on our laptops. And put them on Facebook.
Oh my god, but I think that was like before YouTube was a thing.
It was way before YouTube was a thing. Like, we just had videos on Facebook. And we would just be chatting about our weekend.
It was like we had our own little talk show or something.
And people would watch, and then I remember we'd get comments like, why did I just watch this? And it's like, because.
I know.
So it's something that you obviously have to be passionate about. If it's not podcast, then don't do that. If it's cooking, then do that. If it's fashion, then do that. Like, but you have to pick the number one thing you're passionate about. One thing that comes very easily to the both of us is just sitting there talking. We have stories for days. We bounce off each other.
Exactly.
And that's where Drxma Queenz was born.
Yeah. That was beautiful. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would recommend. But yeah, I know I've had like quite a few people, like friends, be like, how the fuck are you not doing this?
Same.
Someone even asked me not long ago, did you move? I was like,
yeah,
no.
I've had the same question, like, oh, so Marina has moved to America, and I'm like,
yeah,
no, dear, no, she hasn't.
I know.
And then it's like, okay, so, you're in London again. No, I'm in America, but I just saw that you lot were in London doing this, and I'm like, that's what video went up.
Yeah.
But we're back home.
Yeah.
And it's like, so many questions, and people be like, how do you do it? Like, how do you stay motivated? And honestly, I feel like we motivate each other.
Yeah, I also think it's gotten to the point now where I can't imagine our lives without Drxma Queenz and doing this. So it's kind of gotten to a point where I'm like, we have no choice. We have to keep going.
We're in it.
Yeah, we are in it now. We have to keep going. We want to see where this is going to take us. And yeah, like this is just our life now.
It is.
And I also love, like, of course we have, you know, bigger pictures and stuff like that, but I also love that we get to watch back so many memories. And even though we've only been doing this like over a year now, just over a year, we have so many memories. And we can watch it back, especially like the Chris Brown, like traveling for the first time together, and it's who knows like what other memories we're gonna have as, you know, the year goes on and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just, I love it.
It's like,
and you have to love it as well. Like, you have to be passionate about it. We are exhausted at the moment. I worked today. I've edited today. We're just on a constant overdrive. It's always a rush. Like we're doing fun things as well, and like spending time together, but we're also prioritizing, like, we've got to sit down and film, and I just want to sit and chill right now, but we've got videos to film.
I would love nothing more to jump in the shower and just sit on this sofa with teas and watch a movie.
I know, me too.
When was the last time you watched a movie?
I don't know. So yeah, if this is not you, if you can't genuinely say, right, yeah, I would do that, then maybe it's not for you. And you have to think long and hard, because YouTube channels are not just a quick thing to set up. Like, it's a lot of work.
It is.
So yeah, I'm not saying this to put anyone off, but
no.
I just think you need to know that what it really is. Because nowhere when I was just trying to set up a channel where people were like, listen, bitch, you don't know what you're about to get yourself into.
I wish they did.
I wish I was more prepared for this. So yeah, like, just know it is hard, but it is rewarding, and you have to be 100% in it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, I'm sorry to say this, but you are going to flop. You may be consistent for like a month, but you need more than that with YouTube. YouTube is so big now. It's so hard to get your content out there. So you need to have
to be
like
different.
Yeah, you have to be different. You need to have a bigger plan. You need to be consistent. That is the main thing I would say. Like, consistency is key. You've got to try everything. You've got to keep up to date with all the flipping social media platforms and all this shit. And it's a lot of work. A lot of fucking work.
Another thing I would probably say is you have to know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
I am not... If you told me you're trying to edit this... you would get such a shit show. You'd be like, back up. So, as much as, like, there's times where I feel terrible that Marina has to work and edit and everything like that. But I know that if she didn't want to do it, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it's something that we both know our strengths and weaknesses. So if it's like, if she's doing that, I'm like, okay, well, let me take something else off the plate. What can I do? And it's just about, well, that comes from knowing each other, but it comes from as well just understanding, okay, if you can do this and you're willing and happy to do that, then you can take control of that. I will set up everything else. I can do whatever you want. I can set up the cameras or whatever it is. But, and also, like, it would be so easy for me to just be like, oh, it feels like shit. I feel like shit. But, I mean, granted, there were times where I'm like, oh my God, I need to learn how to edit. And eventually, I do want to, because when we are doing this full time, you could be editing one, I could be editing another. Like, I think it's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
But, you know, for right now, especially that I work in-house, it's not very easy to do that. So it's just one of those ones where knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses, what one excels at, what one doesn't, is so helpful.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
if you don't, then you're just going to be spinning around in circles.
Yeah, and you just won't ever be on the same page.
Mm-mm.
And that's gonna ultimately, I feel like, affect your friendship. If this is your friend you're doing it with, or if it's business partner, whoever, it will take a toll on you. And
For sure.
yeah, I just feel like there won't be any coming back.
It won't last long. And the thing is,
Yeah.
we want longevity. So we're thinking future plans. We're thinking how this is going to affect us. And if at one point Marina's like, I need help, she knows that it's whatever you need, I've got it. Whatever you're dropping, I'm picking up. And vice versa. So I think that
was really nice. Sorry. I was trying to not smile like Cheshire Cat, but that was so sweet.
no, but it's true though.
Yeah.
Like you know that, and it's like something that is not even. I don't even have to tell her.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's just something that we know that this is a part of the deal, and we will push through. So it's wonderful. And then obviously, like, there's so many wonderful experiences that we get to put out there that we like. I love watching our videos. It sounds
me
hella
too.
corny, but I laugh hard at our stuff. And I rewind and I'm like, oh my God, that was hilarious. And then there's moments where I can be self-critical, you know that. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe I should have said that or something. But, I thought that was a spider. Anyways, it wasn't. If it was, I would have just handled it and never said anything to you.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Until after we finished filming. But yeah, I think those are definitely key points, but it's hard to really point out one, but it's just mainly having the passion for it, the drive, the want, the desire, and with that and consistency, you'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anyone watching this needs help, hit us up, leave us a comment. Leave us a comment and we're more than willing to help. I find that some people, they don't share too much because they obviously don't want to reveal all their secrets and whatnot, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck, really.
I don't believe in
I'm happy to help because it's like, I know how much, like, it was a struggle for me, like, trying to learn all this shit and set everything up and, like, just setting up the podcast, like, on Apple Podcasts and all that shit. Like, that was one of the worst things for me. And I was just like, I don't understand this. And so, yeah, if anyone needs help, I'm happy to help. Or if anyone has any questions or wants to know what we use to film or any of that shit, I mean, I try and list it in our description and all of that stuff as much as I can, just because I know a couple of people did that and I was like, oh, okay, so they use this and it helps me out. So I wanted to do it too, just in case someone, you know, found our channel and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we're happy to help and we wish you the best with your future channel. Obviously, if you're watching this, I assume you want to start you want to start a YouTube channel. And just have fun with it. at the end of the day, I know we just bitched about being tired and cold and hungry and it's sick.
Malnourished.
Yeah, literally.
But we have fun. Yesterday, I literally, since I've touched down, we've had fun.
I know.
We always have fun.
Yeah, so we will sleep well tonight, and when we watch this video back, you know, it's all going to be worth it, and when we can look back on all these memories, so I wouldn't change it for the world, even though it's hard. And yeah, anyways, I think that's all my points. Do you have anything further?
No, I've reached capacity.
Cool.
With my points.
Well, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a little thumbs up. I hate doing this shit.
I know, but we need to, because
Give it
thumbs up, you know, like, subscribe.
Exactly, subscribe.
You know, I know
subscribe these days.
I know it's not the in thing to do to subscribe.
Yeah.
You can just find us if you want.
I know.
But you know, there's a reason for the button.
Yeah, exactly.
Click it.
I know, we won't bother you.
No, we won't. I'm not asking you to click the bell.
Yeah,
You know, that's up to you. But
Exactly.
you know, you can like, comment, subscribe. Even if you just comment like clapping hands emoji.
Exactly.
Emojis are comments too.
Yeah, and if you are also listening to this, leave us a nice little review.
Yes.
And follow us. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that jazz. And yeah, so we wish you all the best with your future channel. And also leave us your channel name.
Yes, let us check it
some
out.
of you out. If you're new and starting, we're happy to support. So yeah, but all the best, guys, and we will catch you in next week's episode.
Bye.
Bye.